there are a lot of people asking at home, maybe some who share the sentiments of those vacationers who are just saying we've got to live. How many boosters do we need to protect us against COVID? Is this going to be the new norm, getting vaccinated twice a year or 3 times a year?
Adrienne, I'm asked that question every day by so many patients. But at this point in the pandemic, it is so fluid. Things are changing every day. That's why we keep getting these updated guidelines from the CDC and all the other organizations. But a lot of this depends on us. Now, the research has shown, the data is showing that over time, our immunity does wane. We're not as able to fight off the coronavirus infection over time. That's why they instituted the boosters, and the boosters are very effective. But the data is showing that over time, the immunity from the boosters is starting to go down. So we just have to stay the course and understand that we have to continue to fight and get those boosters and follow these recommendations and follow the data.
And we want the data. We want to take the data very seriously. We want to take all of the medical advice that we're hearing from our doctors, our physicians. But is it feasible to get people to do this? Really, where is the science now? This is not the same COVID strain that we saw in March of 2020.
Right. And as I said, this is fluid, meaning it's changing. What's happening is there is so much infection. Infection rates are up. It's unprecedented. We're looking at over 500,000 infections a day in the United States. And what this does is it provides an opportunity. The more people that get infected, the more of an opportunity for more mutations and more variants to come about, such as Omicron. So our key that we have to do is drive down the infection rate by getting more people vaccinated, social distancing.
But vaccinated people are getting breakthrough cases at record numbers as well. It's not just those who are unvaccinated. So I would think that there are a lot of folks who are frustrated because they know it's not a cure, but they're saying, okay, I got the vaccine, I did everything you're telling me to do, and now you're telling me I need another shot. I wanted to share something from the co-creator of the AstraZeneca vaccine. He actually spoke out this week saying the vaccination effort must target the vulnerable, that it's not sustainable to vaccinate the planet every 4 to 6 months. And he said the effort to keep everyone protected from infection must be abandoned. What do you think about those comments?
Well, I think that these comments are not to our best interest. We have to continue to vaccinate because the vaccinations have been proven over time to decrease the likelihood of someone getting severely infected with hospitalizations and or losing their lives. But I also wanted to note protein-based vaccinations. This is very exciting because these type of vaccines that are in the later stages of development clinical trials, they instead of injecting the messenger RNA or the viral vector, they actually inject the protein, which is the actual part of the virus that infects the cell, and there's less of a reaction. People don't get as sick. Mm-hmm. It's much more inexpensive to
less
produce.
Side effects.
Less side effects, that's correct. And also it's easier to store. And that way we can produce more with this more inexpensive way to these countries that have lower resources, because that's what we really need to hit, because that's where a lot of these mutations and variants are coming from. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we'll continue these clinical trials, get these protein-based vaccinations out, and we can start vaccinating the world with more of a world view, because that way if we vaccinate more people, more countries, then we'll have technically less mutants, less variants, and we can get closer to getting through this pandemic.
All right, Dr. Timothy Quinn, Medical Director at Quinn Healthcare. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.